All right, and they're gonna be off here very short.
All right, we've set the timer in motion. The text is flying by, and we're gonna see what's going on in the throne room. I'm seeing some gold and a key, and I believe the back chest is not always a key, which is kind of weird for me. It's the current version that's always a key in the back, but it's a cursed belt this time. So they do have some money to, and you can sell the cursed belt for 180 gold, assuming you can find a town nearby, which of course it's the vanilla map, so there is one town. As long as it's not Hawksness, oh, it's the best one. A couple of shops available right away. So how are they going to spend their money and potentially the money from the cursed belt? There's a copper sword available in the top shop. The lower shop does not have a better weapon available, so it looks like chainmail and copper sword is probably the best bet. A small shield should be available as well for most of our runners that rolled enough gold in their initial chest. And we're off and running, so with a copper sword, we are going to be able to fight most of the nearby monsters. So even the zones are in line with how they are in the original game, so you could actually walk right up directly north of the castle into those hills, and you'll be in the initial zone. I'm not sure if everyone knows that. I see LordoftheSynth running around in the forest tiles, which is a little bit lower of an encounter rate, but he's going to take on the Magidrake with the copper sword. It's a little bit of a tickle fight, but he does take it down. That's a quick level up, and 11 more power for level 2. So we're off and running. Looks like jkoper and Thilotilo took a little bit of extra time in the town, perhaps to buy some herbs and other items at the item shop. I just saw Thilotilo don the scale. And LordoftheSynth is wasting no time. He's fighting fast and furious. This is how speed hacks goes. It's encounters are like, if you blink, you miss it. So buckle up.
Same thing with the chests. If you blink, you missed what it was. And good luck waiting to see that 4th or 5th chest in the grave if someone gets one but not the other.
Yeah, this is kind of like you gotta have some extra adrenaline to play it and to watch the speed hacks for that matter. You're gonna be kind of psyched and ready to go here. So we have another level up for LordoftheSynth. Thilotilo level 3 as well. So they did get some early gear, and it's helping them just plow through these early levels. So what's going to be their plan now once they get to a couple of more levels? Who's going to go to the Vanilla Tablet Cave up to the northwest? Who's going to go east, and who's going to go southwest? To the east, you have Vanilla Coal, you have the Vanilla Swamp Cave, and the Vanilla Staff Cave. And off to the southwest, you go on a long journey towards where the Vanilla Hawksness Town is and the Vanilla Cantlin Town. So you have to kind of have something in mind. You know where everything is, although the towns and caves are shuffled up, of course. But we may see them starting to branch off in different directions once they get these first few levels.
Yeah, I think once we see them get a few more hit points, they do have heal more at level 4, so that does help out a huge amount when thinking about exploring. But you want to have more than 25 hit points. 39 and 45 right now are the maxes for LordoftheSynth and Thilotilo, and that'll be kind of the stat that I think they're going to look at mostly.
Yeah, we're showing that they all have heal more available already. So if the strength, I think, has been progressing, I saw at least one double-digit strength gain. So I'm kind of surprised that they're not already getting out of here. And Thilotilo does look like he's going to take a gander at the Tablet Cave. Now, leaving the initial zones, we see there 37 strength at level 5, which gives them 47 attack power with the Copper Sword. But no! Has the Dragon Lord Breath and sends him packing. jkoper looks like he's also leaving the nest, and he's going to go directly west, bypassing the tablet cave for now. Unless, nope, he's taking a northward turn, and one step away we have a Wraith Knight. Gets away. So what do we have? Bonking north and south. Could be Mountain Cave, could be Swamp North. It's Mountain Cave. So 5 unguarded chests in here could get things rolling. Enemies seem reasonable. Joel Magi and Droll so far in the cave. We see Thilotilo also in a dark area fighting a wolf. And successfully so for level 6. So this zone actually on the top floor is not too bad for these intermediate levels that they're on. They can continue to gain experience on this top floor. LordoftheSynth is in there as well, so everyone has the same idea, checking out the first cave nearby. Thilotilo is 1 step away from the first chest. And starting gold and big gold for jkoper on the 3rd and 4th chests, and wings are in the top chest. So nothing earth-shattering yet, no Urgic Sword, no quest items. jkoper looks like he's going for the 4th chest down to the southeast, and it's more big gold, so he's going to now check the 5th chest. Meanwhile, lots of ghosts and wolves and drachemas, all fightable monsters, so things have worked out well in that regard. And it's the fighter's ring. jkoper promptly puts it on, so a nice start, and they even have the outside spell for a quick exit.
I was curious to see whether they would take that big gold and go upgrade a weapon right away, just to run back right to Cantlin because it was safe. But it looks like jkoper is going to continue on towards Vanilla Garing.
Yeah, and as long as that's not Hawksness, well, it is Hawksness, but I was going to say, there's a good chance there's a shop there as well, but yeah, they're not really ready for Hawksness yet, but it's good to know where it is. I like your plan, actually. If you have, especially these folks that have over 1,500 gold. Now, there wasn't another weapon available, I don't think. And the bottom shop, there was definitely only a bamboo pole. I kind of missed what was in the top shop. There was a copper sword, but I'm not sure if there was a better weapon than that, like a broadsword.
Nope, as far as I know, there wasn't a broadsword, so I guess running back to Cantlin now without keys is not going to help you out. If you make it far enough,
right?
As jkoper almost gets away from that wyvern there, gets sent back with half his gold.
Yeah, I mean, you could definitely upgrade your armor with 1,500 gold. There had to be a half plate available, or maybe a large shield. Although I didn't get a great look at those 2 shops, but I'm sure the runners did.
There was a half plate in the bottom. There was also magic armor, which is not going to help you out a ton because it's just so...
So, we've actually seen a whole bunch of chests now and no extra keys yet. So, it's becoming more important now to actually find the towns. Because one of those towns is going to be Rimuldar. And from that regard, I'm a little surprised that Thilotilo and LordoftheSynth are going east, because there's only one town in this direction, and if you go to the southwest, there's 2 towns. So perhaps they want to see, there are more caves in this direction, so maybe they want to see if the grave is in this direction for 3 more quick chests. But LordoftheSynth is closing in on Vanilla Coal. See which town this is today, and if it's Rimuldar, he's got plenty of gold to spend. But no, it's Brockenary. There's potential armor and shield upgrades here. He can afford half plate and there's the broadsword actually. So a weapon upgrade available in coal, and he's got enough money to afford it. So nice work for Lordofthesynth. jkoper's in that area too. I missed what he did.
He was short of the broadsword money, so I think he took a look and then he stepped right on outside.
Thilotilo, what sort of funds does he have available? Just enough for the broadsword, so a nice upgrade for Thilotilo. So jkoper got sent home before making it up to the staff cave, by the way. So a little bit of tough luck in the early going for jkoper. Not getting the weapon upgrade, losing half his gold on that that death, and he is now going to go in the other direction because he is, in my mind, looking for Rimuldar as priority now. So no reason to check those caves to the east when the two towns that are remaining that are reachable are to the southwest. So I like jkoper's strategy here. You want to find Rimuldar pretty quickly to get those keys. Although it looks like he's making an eastward turn towards Vanilla Mountain Cave, which is surprising to me. And it looks like they also have Hurtmore. Am I seeing that right? No, I am seeing it wrong.
Flying by
that
too
is some
fast.
fast text going on right now. I could have sworn he just Hurtmored that wyvern, but
jkoper did just get a new spell. Thilotilo may have hurt more at level 10, building a little bit of an experience lead so far, with just over 1,000 to about 400 for the other two runners right now.
okay, so I knew I saw Hurtmore somewhere. So what was that Thilotilo found up there? It was the staff cave, maybe?
I didn't catch it personally.
Yeah, I think it was the.
I was watching jkoper to try to figure out if he had Hurtmore.
Chad is telling us that it was actually Tablet Cave in the Vanilla Staff location, which had an herb. And that's what Lord of the Synth is doing right now as well. And jkoper does find Rimuldar, so I do like jkoper's routing here in prioritizing this trip to Rimuldar instead of looking around in those extra caves to the east. And he is going to get some keys really fast for his troubles. He can now look into the third shop in Cantlin. He can get the coordinates. He can also check the treasury in the Tantegel Castle. He can also check this one shop in Rimuldar, or the one in chest here in the inn. So first to keys is jkoper. He's got a little bit of catching up to do experience-wise. Thilotilo seems to be on a tear.
Thilotilo will be on a tear. I think exploration is actually going to be the trick here. Finding the items with Hurtmore this early, I think experience will come in waves when they have the magic points to use Hurtmore just as they wander the map. I think they'll find some pretty good enemies for the most part.
Yeah, so they did find the Vanilla Swamp North in the Swamp North location. So they actually chose to go through. And there is one town down in this direction, which at this point, let's see, it's one of two things. It's going to have to be Cole or Garenham, I believe, right?
That's correct.
So, which one will it be? Lord of the Synth is ahead by a few steps. Otherwise, those two are kind of going lockstep with each other. It is Garenham. They don't have keys, though. So, jkoper is going to have an advantage in the routing when it comes to this.
No keys, but a virtual high five for both of them.
Half plate, just a few gold short for the half plate is Thilotilo. Maybe he'll go check that cave to the south and then come back and grab the half plate on the way back. Not so sure if they have even the return spell yet, so... Ooh, Stone Man and no sleep spell, but he gets away. jkoper's in the grave now. So that must be Mountain Cave? Vanilla Mountain Cave has the grave, maybe?
Yeah, that was Vanilla Mountain Cave position with the Grave of Garenham. So
Yeah.
he'll be 3 or 4 steps away from 3 chests right here.
So jkoper had a couple of tough early deaths, but I like the way that he turned that into some clever routing. And he finds Erdrick's Sword in the top 3 chests to go with some big bucks and some other chests that I missed. And he's going to go straight down to the bottom because he has keys, remember. So I'm liking jkoper's routing so far.
That was a fortunate break for him. I think it would have been a little bit different if Rimuldar had been in Vanilla Rimuldar. It's just one of those things how it plays out with the randomizer.
Right, it's just that there were 2 towns in that direction and there's only one over on that second island, so I think he was playing the odds there and it worked out. Certainly Rimuldar could have been Vanilla, so it's not a sure thing, but I like the decision. And Lord of the Synth is going to go for the boss monster in Hawksness now that they have hurt more and heal more. I'm not so sure they have a ton of hit points to work with, but he's going to grab level 9 on root here. Heal up with not a whole lot of... Well, he's going to use herbs, which is good because he doesn't have a whole lot of MP. And we have an Axe Knight here. Interesting. Will he stay here? He finds the nothing. Does not stay for more grinding. Interesting.
With only 16 magic points left, I think you just say, you know what? Let's go find all the items, especially since he has none of the quest items right now. I can understand. Thilotilo did find the harp in the vanilla jerk cave, which was the Stones of Sunlight. Stones of Sunlight? The free chest.
Oh, the Stones of Sunlight cave was in the vanilla rainbow drop cave. I got you. Okay, and the harp is way down there, so that is interesting. So that long walk is required then. So you do have to go to the second continent, at least for that reason. So jkoper is going to have a lot of walking left to do, and he just took a death. I missed what happened. So now I feel like he will go in that direction maybe and go east after checking the treasury here.
And Thilotilo finds the good news, and jkoper goes and gets the glitz chests in the gold grind possible in the bottom.
Yeah, didn't even check his items to see what those items actually were that he grabbed. They all said wings, but it's possible that none of them were wings. But we know that this is gold, that is for sure. So, and he has keys, remember, so he can check the third shop in Cantlin. He already knows there's magic armor right over there. Maybe hoping the silver shield is in that third shop. Not sure if he saw that anywhere else. He already has Erdrick's sword, remember, so he only has to grind up to about 23,000 instead of 33,000. And once he gets to 23, he can pop over to Cantlin, grab the coordinates, go shopping, and then I think he's going to go back to the east. Try and get back into the staff cave that he was unable to before, and then he will probably go through the swamp cave as well.
And Thilotilo just grabbed level 11 with a 6351.
And Lord of the Synth looks like he got his big stick, and okay, Thilotilo as well. They're basically on the same route still, this whole race. So that's kind of amusing. Except that Lord of the Synth did check the spot in Hawksness. It just turned out to be nothing.
Yep, it just turned out to be a decent grind, but right now they're more concerned about that exploration.
Yeah, and remember, we saw a cursed belt in the throne room in the very beginning of the game. I don't know that logic still holds back in 1.3, but if it does, that means Cole and the coordinates will both have something.
Yeah, I believe that's the case as well. Cast sleep and then promptly physicaled him right back to Tanti.
All right, what did we see jkoper do just a minute ago? Did he go to Cantlin? He must have seen all the big stuff in this shop in Rimmildar. He's going straight over there.
Yeah, he did check the chest here. He didn't stop in Cantlin at all. So I believe we'll just see him grab probably the silver shield. I didn't see the magic armor, but it might be here as well. It was in Cantlin.
Okay, they were both here, so he had no reason to go to Cantlin, except that we do know that there will be coordinates if the cursed belt logic holds. So he, at some point, is going to want to go back there and check that. I figure he might just, anytime you take a death, you're just right there. So it's not like something that is missable.
And Thilotilo finds the good news that he's not key locked, and we will be on our way.
And Lord of the Synth is down to no magic, and he's just a few steps away from Rimildar as well. It would be a shame if he got trolled by that stone man there, but he gets away first try and makes it. So he's going to grab keys as well. So everyone's got keys. And Thilotilo made it all the way down for the whole second continent and got the harp. Looks like Lord of the Synth never made it way down there, so that could be a problem for him, because he may not end up going back there, because it's just one cave and it's like really far away.
He won't go back there until he realizes exactly where he has to go to, I think. It'll be a process of elimination. I wouldn't check that chest before I had to, or that cave before I had to, if I were...
Right, because he's already been to the town that's over there, and there's like nothing else over on that island, you know, so I can see him going all the way south to Vanilla Cantland and doing, you know, all the other things before ever going back there. Whereas Thilotilo did get the harp there, so he's in pretty good shape now. jkoper looks like he wants to go check the spot in Hawksness now. And I'll be interested to see if jkoper takes the opportunity to grind Axonites while he's here. They have fairly low strength, as at least on level 10, as shown by our tracker. Thank you. 47 strength is a little bit below average for level 10, although Thilotilo at level 12 has 68 strength, so if jkoper does grind this Axonite a little bit, he'll get some nice strength gains for his trouble. Checks the spot, it's got the Nothing Burger. More Axonites for jkoper, and I like this play. You know where everything is, it's not like you need to do the exploration, you know, it's not like you're worried about covering the map because you don't know where something is. So, you know, grinding becomes even more of a focus here, I think.
I agree. I think it's the point in the game where, you know, you've done some exploration, you have a grasp on where everything is, and while you have magic and you're already here, you might as well grind it.
Thilotilo about to see what the Guardian is in front of Cantland, if there is one, and it is the Armored Knight.
And Thilotilo has gotten some of his 4,000 experience on Armored Knights already, so he's just gonna double hurt more and move.
Ooh, so here's one of the search spots, and if it happens to be the token, then he'll be good to go with, he'll know for sure that the armor is at the coordinates. Oh, but it's the armor. Wait. It actually went really fast. I saw Erdrick's. And it could be Erdrick's token or Erdrick's armor, so somebody could help us out.
I believe it was the armor. That's what I saw, but maybe my eyes are misleading me on the speed hack.
Someone's telling us that jkoper got the token somewhere. Okay, that's certainly possible, I guess.
Would have been one of the chests in the grave, potentially, that I lost track of while I was trying to keep up with the other two.
Oh, so because that's interesting. If it was in a chest, then these coordinates that he's about to get are going to lead to the flute. And so he might go ahead and count this out. And it's not going to work out for him. That's going to lead to the fairy flute. So that is interesting.
Oh, it was one of the glitch chests in Treasury, is what Furon Burgundy is.
Ah, so that would mean that Thilotilo has it as well now then, because he just checked the Treasury. And he is now upgraded to the staff because he's the only one of our runners to have possession of the harp, so he won't have to make a separate trip back to the home base for that purpose. He's got it out of the way on the route. So, has Lord of the Synth made it back to the castle since acquiring keys? Not sure where he is, actually. He's in a dark place. Alright, so what's Thilotilo's plan here? He is going towards... What does he want over in this direction? Shrine Cave, maybe? Vanilla Shrine Cave? No, he's going back towards... What is over here that he wants? I'm not sure. Princess? Oh, he's bypassing the princess.
11 south, 33 west. It might be on this side of the mountain.
Yeah, but Thilotilo has the token and the armor, so he's not looking for anything on the map. I'm not sure why he's over here. He already got the item in the cave to the south. What was the town over here?
Oh, Garenham.
Garenham?
So he's going to the back of Garenham, which I believe is Jurt. Just because we haven't seen it anywhere else.
There's 3 chests. He's looking for the stones. There's 3 chests back here. Yeah, I forgot that this was Garenham over here, so that makes sense now. Alright. So Lord of the Synth is in the treasury, so he got his token. Alright, let's see what we got. Are the stones going to be here? Wings? Torch, I think? There's the stones, so Thilotilo has all the quest items. And you're saying that the Rainbow Drop Cave has to be right back here?
I believe so, by the process of elimination. I don't think there can be anything else back.
That works out perfectly for Thilotilo, and he has the armor and the sword. He's in grind and go mode, guys. 26 minutes in, he can go straight back to Hawksnest to the northwest corner and grind on Axe Knights. He is in excellent shape here. That just worked out perfectly for him. And it all started with him getting all the way down to that harp, all the way in the southernmost point on the second continent. Yeah, because he had that, he was able to trade in for the staff, and he got the token out of the treasury. As soon as he got keys, he knew he had to go to Garenham. So it all worked out pretty nicely for Thilotilo. He's in grind and go mode. jkoper is going to have to get to the second continent now to look for the harp. And while he's over there, he should probably get the stones as well, because Garenham's over here as well. So jkoper is 5 minutes away from having all the quest items as well. But he's going to have to make a return trip back to Tantegel to trade in for the staff, and then he's going to have to walk all the way back to the second continent again to go to the back door of Garenham to trade in for the drop. So you can see why that's so much worse than how it worked out for Thilotilo.
Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like they're going to lose very much magic or hit points on their walk. Otherwise, the trip to Garenham would almost be required just as your touch-up before you go to the castle to finish the game. But it doesn't look like that. So just a little bit out of order here for jkoper. Just getting a little bit unlucky. Whereas Thilotilo got that experience at the beginning, got hurt more, and just wandered the map and found everything he needed to in the right order.
So Lord of the Synth, also not yet finding the armor, may choose to try and track down these coordinates also. So he goes in and gets the coordinates, and that's going to lead to the fairy flute. I don't even remember Thilotilo checking for the coordinates, because he just didn't need to. He had the armor and the token already. So a lot of these things just kind of worked out for Thilotilo.
Yeah, I think Thilotilo moved right on past that, because he did make it down all the way to Cole in the vanilla Cantlin spot, and just has the armor, has the token, doesn't need the cord.
Yeah. Oh, and we're not even showing the armor for jkoper, so it's a tremendous amount of walking that jkoper still has to do before, and Thilotilo is just in grind and go mode. It's amazing how this is working out. And like you said, it's just, there's no like rhyme or reason to the decision making in the early stages. It's just the nature of randomizer. Just is you turn left or you turn right, and does it work out or not? I kind of liked the way he was looking for Rimuldar in the beginning, but then in doing so, he missed out on getting the harp early. So now he's getting the harp now. And now he's going to have to get back to Tantegel to trade in for the staff. And maybe while he's there, he might go the other way, because he's going to have to go all the way down to Vanilla Cantlin for the armor. And then he's going to have to come all the way back to Garenham on the second continent for the drop. So it's a little bit of a nightmare the way that worked out for jkoper. And Thilotilo, who already had an experience lead, is just obviously growing it exponentially now in these Axe Knights. We'll have to see in a couple of minutes how his stats are progressing. He's a couple of Axe Knights, maybe 3 Axe Knights away from 15. When he gets that, is he going to be ready to go, or is there still more to do? He's got the hit points he needs.
Has the hit points, has the magic, just needs some strength, it looks like. With 117 max hit points and 109 magic at level 14. And 4104, I believe.
And so we were talking about the difference in routing and how it worked out between Thilotilo and jkoper. Lord of the Synth was interesting. It looked like he basically was doing everything that Tilo was doing, but it just so happened that he didn't make it down to the harp without dying that first time. And then his big thing was he went over to Hawksness, but there was nothing in that spot. So that was unfortunate for him. So now he's kind of like stuck in the same boat as jkoper, where he still needs to get all the way down for the armor, and he may end up checking the coordinates. And he did. He checked the coordinates, and it was the flute. So a lot of those things just not going Lord of the Synth this way either.
So a quick check of the stats there for Thilotilo, and I think you'll see him go right back to Hawksness. Chat is noting that those stone men are pretty nasty, and they could be a huge issue. Oh, Thilotilo turning towards the swamp cave. Maybe going to check out Sharlock right now.
So what were the stats? What did you see on his stat window?
They're just shy. I would think that you want the next level, but you can do it with this amount of magic. The attack, I think, is a little low. I believe it's 121, but I read it very, very quickly.
Yeah, 121 isn't going to do it, but you could definitely try and fight your way down, maybe, for the next level, and hope that the strength gain is coming.
Looking for the trap tile in Swamp, but it might have despawned because of the 1-3 behavior.
No, I don't think he's doing that. The Axe Knight is the best grind anyways, so I think he's going into Sharlock. I think he is going to take the inn here, and he's going to go right over to Sharlock and hope that the next level is the one. He doesn't have a whole lot of defense to work with because he's got no silver shield. So he's not going to be defense breaking anything except the wizard. I think we were showing 81 defense for him. So fighting your way down is not going to be that easy. He's got a pretty good amount of hit points to work with, and it's just an aggressive play. I think he's going to try and get this half of a level in Sharlock. So while he's doing that, let's see, Lord of the Synth, I think, might be marching all the way down towards Vanilla Cantlin, which jkoper has just found.
And jkoper will get the good news there. Now it's going to be interesting between Lord of the Synth and jkoper fighting for that second spot. I think Thilotilo, it'll be interesting. This decision's a little bit aggressive. I'm not sure the stats back it up, but we'll see how it plays out. Good RNG could really help.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to get the next level. He can't win against the Dragon Lord on this level, but there hopefully will be enough things for him to pick off in here. Now he's just looking at this zone here to see. Alright, I don't like that play, really. He should be in Sharlock if he's going to just walk around and grind. It looks like he's able to swing and hit Axe Knights without having to, use any magic in the process.
Yeah, at first he ran from a couple Axe Knights, and I wondered what he was up to.
So now he's down to heal more because he ran into an Arbor Knight and doesn't feel like he has the agility to get away. Oh, now he's just grinding. Okay, I'm not I'm not so sure about this play anymore either. It's sort of like he's in between decisions. Like, if you're going to do this, I think you might as well just go. But on the other hand, it is kind of a long walk to get back here if you take a death, so maybe now he's going to abort this and go back to Garenham to the inn.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to snag the level and hit the inn, hoping to see the goods. But the top 3 floors having that AK is kind of intimidating, I think, because if it's the first enemy you see when you walk in and you know you're probably not going to be able to run from it, and it's going to do a significant amount of damage, that's just not a good sign on a really aggressive.
It's just, to me, like, if you were going to run around and fight wolves, you might as well have just gone to Hawksness and gotten 16 over there. Like, that's the fastest grind. The whole point of doing this, to me, was that you were going to fight your way down Charlock for the next level while in the dungeon. So if he's going to be walking all the way back to the inn right now, I think it would have been faster for him to just go to Hawksness and get the level. But either way, he got 5 more power for his troubles. Do we have Death Necklace back in 1.3? Because I haven't seen it. And he's now eligible if it exists. You've been playing Week 4 Practice Seeds, Bobski, right? You ever come across a Death Necklace?
I believe I've used it, but now that you ask about it and everyone's listening, I don't want to tell them the wrong thing.
I'm going to say that it was a thing in 1.3. There was a point somewhere along the evolution of Dragon Warrior Randomizer where it was created and invented. It wasn't in the original version, but I think by 1.3 it probably was a thing. So in that case, if Thilotilo has seen all the chests, he's going to know that it is in Charlock. And if he's not comfortable with the current stats, then he can grab the Death Necklace, most likely in the treasury, and use it for the Dragon Lord fight. He may actually not do that. He might just count on getting some double attacks from the extra hit points, because 126, I think typically, like, I think he's there. I think he could win without the Death Necklace here. So
if he can keep all of his magic going down, I think that would be doable. You're averaging about 9 without the
That's a good point. Yeah. A lot will depend on if he's got to burn some heal mores when running into these armored knights up on the top floor here. And if that's the case, then Death Necklace looks more. If you got to burn 2 or 3 heal mores on the way down, then all of a sudden use the Death Necklace, get to 136 attack power, in which case you only need about 10 heal mores. So, not so good getting away from that armored knight. He's going to use herbs first, of course. Trying to hold on to the MP.
And that could come back to bite you too. One of the things about the Dragon Lord is he can just be annoying and cast Hurt More or keep attacking.
Also of note is that Thilotilo never did do a grind, at least not a substantial grind. He's still on the large shield, whereas our other 2 runners were able to grind up for the silver shield, so they're having a lot less trouble on their Charlotte dives, most likely. They'll be defense breaking that Star Wyvern that keeps popping up, for example. And jkoper was just grinding in Hawksness. And now he is going in the direction of Charlock. And did he just hit 15? He may have just hit 15. I'm not totally sure. Nope, he's still on 14, but he's going in this direction. Interesting. Well, he's going to check
the trap tile.
But the trap tile does not respawn, correct? In 1.3?
Yeah, in 1.3, it's a one-shot thing, and if you've already seen it on the overworld, it actually might not be.
jkoper has the flute because he also counted out those coordinates. So he's going to put that to use on this one golem for 255 if he is successful. And LordoftheSynth is finally going to walk all the way down to get his harp, and I think maybe that's what jkoper maybe still hasn't been down this way either. I haven't lost track a little bit, but you have to come down here and get the harp, and you also have to go into the back door of Garanham to get the stones. And then you got to bring those items all the way back to Tantegel to trade in for the staff. So I'm not sure where along the process jkoper is, but Lord of the Synth clearly still needs the harp. So he's going to grab that out of the Stones of Sunlight chest here, while Thilotilo is approaching the Dragon Lord. Remember, there's no Guardian, no mini-boss here. He's going to walk straight through this gateway, no problem.
And he's done a very, very good job of keeping his magic, but there's the Stone Man with sleep, and he gets...
So he's got all of his heal mores. And he probably does not need the Death Necklace here. Of course, he doesn't have it. He's not going to use it. Just needs 1 or 2 double attacks. He's probably a favorite to get 3 or 4 double attacks of rounds. This is hit points that he has. Kind of balanced off with the defense. Remember, large shield. He could get physical for 49 here because he's got fairly low defense. But he should still get a couple of double attacks, even regardless of having low defense.
Yeah, he should get a couple double attacks. Unfortunately, he doesn't get the first turn double attack, as he did get ambushed in the first instance of the Dragon Lord. But I think he should be okay. Getting somewhere between 2 to 3 doubles would be enough with the number of heal mores. Firhan Burgundy is just masterful at keeping count, so we're going to watch him in chat count it up.
jkoper looking for something to fight right outside Vanilla Rimuldar in that little desert area, that's a place where you grind for experience in the vanilla speedrun game. He's actually going after the Stone Man who has sleep. So yeah, I'm not totally sure where jkoper's at in terms of items and stuff, but he may be gearing up for his, maybe hoping that 15 is enough. And he might go for it. Like, 15 is kind of close. Especially, well, it's not... I guess they were a little short on hit points on 15 as well, if you were going to look for the Death Necklace, but Thilotilo has done it. That was a really good run for him.
Very, very good exploration luck. Dive right there. I wasn't sure it was going to turn out, but keeping all the magic on the way down really paid.
Holy cow, that was a good run. That's speed hacks for you. And for a seed where things were actually pretty spread out, that's very impressive. For the harp to be all the way to the southeast and the armor to be all the way in Vanilla Canyon, and, you know, some additional back and forth running around to do. You couldn't get keys until you were down in Vanilla Hawksness. That was a really good time.
That was an impressive run. Oh, that's this week's seed is supposed to look like, and you can't get luckier than that.
So Lord of the Synth is in his second trip. Oh my goodness, and he overstepped the back door, the back cave there. So he's got to go through here again, assuming he has enough keys. And so, yeah, this is his second trip through. He already went in here to get the stones last time, and apparently he's already been back to trade in for the staff. So now he's taking all those items on his second trip back here for the Rainbow Drop, at which point he'll be in grind and go mode. He already has the sword and the armor as well. So I believe everyone's in grind and go mode. It's going to be a relatively close, well, jkoper did create a little bit of a lead experience-wise over Lord of the Synth. And he is on his way into Sherlock on level 15. These are those stats you were looking at before, right? And we were like, ooh, I don't know. You're going to have to probably fight your way down. Now, in terms of fighting your way down, he's got the silver shield. So things are way different for jkoper than they would have been for Thilotilo, because those Star Wyvern that he keeps running into, he'll be defense breaking those, and you can just slay them very easily for 105 experience each and not have to use your magic in the process. So this is a more reasonable play for jkoper. He's clearly going for the next level, and it's nice to have the silver shield when you're doing this.
And Lord of the Synth made it all the way into the jerk room just to find out that he didn't have the Staff of Rain yet. So played the harp in Rage, and then went and got the Staff of Rain, and is now walking all the way back to Garenham.
Because I saw him bypass the chests in Garenham, meaning that he had already been there before to get the stones. So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think he got the stones and just kind of got past the Staff of Rain without kind of...
So, I see. He probably got the stones and then went south and got the harp. And then just kind of on his walk back, he went into Garenham again, because that's kind of, if you're not going to cast Return, it's sort of on the way. Okay.
And we were joined by our winner, Thilotilo, and I'll let you go ahead and interview Thilotilo, and I'll keep an eye out on the race.
All right. Thilotilo, what a race. Good game.
Thank you.
So, 42 minutes, 33 seconds. Have you had any practice runs that were faster than that?
I've had a couple that were around that, but I don't know that I actually broke 42.
Yeah, so things routing-wise seem to work out well for you. At first, I was kind of liking jkoper's strategy. When you guys were going east, jkoper took a death at one point and decided to go southwest because there were 2 towns in that direction and only 1 town to the east. He was obviously prioritizing finding keys in the town of Rimeldar. And you guys, both you and Lord of the Synth, went east. But in doing so, you managed to stay alive all the way through that second continent and got the harp on your first try. And that's something that bit Lord of the Synth. He was not able to get down there. So it was a lot less back and forth for you, it seemed like. I don't know. What'd you think about how the routing went for you?
Well, I thought it was pretty smooth, just because we got hurt more so early, and then also the enemies they threw at us were great hurt more enemies. I didn't, until I got in that little area by the rainbow drop, I didn't see things like the stone men and the blue dragons and whatnot. If there was something nasty that wasn't hurt moreable, I didn't see it. But it definitely worked out when I got the harp down there in the vanilla shrine cave. When I got that, I thought, ooh, this could work in my favor, since I know I hadn't found anything else yet. The big thing for me routing wise that I wasn't sure about was when I took the risk and used that one key that I got in the grave. Used it in the grave, figuring, well, hey, I can get back there. I've got 2 more towns here that are, one of the 2 of them are Rimeldar. Hopefully I can get out. And that's when I learned the bad news about Stonemen, and I was afraid that would cost me if there was something good or if one of the key items was in the treasury. And then at the end, I just banked on the fact that Garenham, one of the 3 chests in Garenham would have the stones rather than that basement in the grave, or else I would have probably been in some trouble. The other thing that I didn't like that I did was when I decided to just go ahead and die one early, figuring I was close enough on stats, because grinding just did not pay off for me. Grinding on the way down just was not going to be a thing.
Yeah, okay. So I was wondering about that as well, because you chose to go away from Hawksnest, which was a really good grind spot, and it seemed like it was the intention to get the level on the way down. And then, you'd never got the silver shield, so then you weren't really defense breaking anything. You started running into armored knights on the top floor, and you just kind of aborted rather than risk dying and have that really long walk to come all the way back. So that may have cost a little time, because the grind in that area is definitely not as fast as just, the Hawksnest grind.
The nice thing was those desert tiles right outside of Sharlock also gave me a whole bunch of Axe Knight, so it wasn't that much lower, fortunately for me. But yeah, it was. I've made that mistake before, grinding or diving too early, but I was afraid I was behind, and I wanted to say, hey, if I can hit this level right before the Dragon Lord, that might give me a little bit of an edge. And so I
So
decided to take a risk.
tell me about the decision then on your first like routing decision. You guys, you got some early equipment, you got some levels, then you all went to the Tablet Cave logically enough, and I think that was Mountain Cave, right? But then there wasn't really anything of consequence in there. You got like the Fighter's Ring or whatever. So then you probably went and checked Garenham, which was Hawksness. At that point, what do you do? Do you go east or west? And how do you make that decision?
Generally speaking, my big thing in these seeds is find the swamp cave. Because that can play a big role in how you want to route, and it's also just, it's been discussed how there is this small potential soft lock that exists in a few seeds, and it's always just make sure I always just want to kind of make sure I have all my options open. So I go that direction because there's 2 caves and a town right there, and one of those caves very likely is leading to a second town, and so I feel like everything is more clustered over there. You can find more stuff and get more information that you can use as making decisions. There wasn't going to be anything that could be at Cole that I was going to be particularly disappointed with, except Breckenary, which of course it was, but even with that, having the caves around, or having the 2 caves nearby to explore was also nice, and I didn't have any key items at that point, so caves were going to be, what I really wanted to see. The big thing I questioned about I was afraid about was after all that, going back, I decided not to stop by Hawksness and check the spike tile, and instead just keep traveling south. And if the armor had been there, that really could have bitten me, but fortunately there was nothing there.
Right. Yeah. And so I'm trying to think of what happened with jkoper. I think he did the same thing and went east as well. I think he got to Vanilla Coal, which was, whatever town that was. But then on the way, going up to see what the cave was for the Staff Cave, Vanilla Staff Cave, I think he took a death up there. And so he never saw, I don't believe, this Vanilla Staff Cave or the Vanilla North Swamp. And from there, once he was back at the castle, he decided to go west because at that point, having already seen Vanilla Coal, and since you had already opened so many chests like in the Mountain Cave, you really want keys at some point, and there are 2 towns in that direction, and not so many towns going through the Swamp Cave and all that. So he was able to find keys quite a bit before you guys, but it just so happens that the fact that you were able to get the harp on the first try, there was a lot less like running around, because just the way it worked out for both of your opponents, it was like, you had to go all the way down to Cantlin, and then you had to go they went all the way to the harp cave, and then they had to go all the way back to trade it in for the staff, and then they went all the way back, it was a lot of going back and forth between the 2 continents. Whereas I think the way that you found keys, it was like you just went back to the castle, you got your token, and then right while you were there, because you already had the harp, you were able to trade it in right away. Just kind of like while you were on, your normal coming back to the castle to check the treasury kind of thing. This is, I don't know if there's any rhyme or reason sometimes with how it works out with the randomizer. It's just some people like everything gets routed just right, and other people are just walking around forever, I guess.
Yeah, the map RNG was in my favor in this one.
Besides that, though, you had built up quite an experienced lead, especially early on, so it wasn't just the mapping, I think. I remember at one point 100, while the others were still in the 500 or 600 range, experience-wise, so...
And
it was a well-run race in many regards. And Bobski, what's happening with...
So jkoper level 16 on the dive and successfully handled the Dragon Lord despite some low rolls, getting back attacked on Dragon Lord 2 and having a very ornery Dragon Lord 1. Didn't want to cast Stop Spell, but made it out in 5406, an official SRL.
All right. And did he use the Death Necklace or not? Okay. So I'm still not 100% sure that it exists in 1.3, but I assume that runners could have maybe checked the Charlock Treasury for the Death Necklace. It's down that. And is Lord of who quit at this point? I see a "Thou art dead" and not much else. Let's see what's happening.
Yeah, Lord of the Synth has seen that he has taken last and issued a forfeit in the SRL room. So the race. But we'll see if we can get jkoper in here for an interview if he would like. And that's the race right there. That was a very close Dragon Lord 2 fight, though. As Chad is kind of hashing out, the Dragon Lord very nearly won that fight. It wasn't supposed to be that close, I didn't think.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and head out. Before I go, though, I do want to mention that we have Dragon Warrior Randomizer, an event in RPG Limit Break, that we have a couple of people in our community, Sparkover and Silverfire, running. And as part of that, the RPG Valkyries are running a marathon, and our Sparkover is going to be running the vanilla no manipulation Dragon Warrior run tomorrow morning. So, if you have a chance, go over there and give her some love.
Cool. The more Dragon Warrior, the better. And we have jkoper. What's going on? How did that race treat you today?
Hey, GG. Interesting that Teal topped out, but it was okay, I guess. I don't know. Got beat pretty badly in a way, but I don't know. I felt like things mostly went okay. I did screw up in going to the tablet cave. I shouldn't have gone back up there. I was thinking maybe I was still missing something. The only thing I was really missing maybe was the death necklace. But in the end, maybe the death necklace would have been good to have on the Dragon Lord fight. I'm not sure, but I guess it's probably loaded. So.
Okay, I got you. Yeah, were you not able to get all 5 chests the first time you were in the mountain vanilla tablet cave?
Tablet cave is 1 chest.
Oh, the actual. I thought you meant the vanilla tablet cave that you went back there for some reason. Okay, I got you now.
No,
So you went through tablet cave even though you had most of the things. Okay. Yeah.
I had everything except for a death necklace maybe.
Yeah, one. I guess we were just discussing. It's just the nature of randomizer, obviously. Just if you turn right or you turn left, kind of thing. You had gone and found Vanilla Coal, which was, I forget what town that was there, but then you were on your way up to check what the cave was up in the staff cave location. I think you took a death.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, you decided to go west, which in my mind, you're prioritizing keys, and there are more towns in that direction. Is that the right thought?
Yeah, and the keys and the armor, I guess, be the big things.
Yeah, so that's where the divergence happened at that point. So you were able to get the keys first because Rimildar was in the Vanilla Hawks location. Thilotilo he never took a death in that early portion, and he explored all that eastern area and was able to make it all the way down to the Harp on that first go. And I think for you and Lord of the Synth, it was a little bit of having to go back and forth between the continents, just because like the Harp was way over there, and then the armor was way over at Cantlin, but then you had to, if you didn't have the Harp, you had to go back to get that before trading it in for the staff back at Tantegel, and then it was kind of like that. So a little bit of I think just luck of the draw, just which direction you guys chose to walk, but it seemed like you guys all did pretty well. You all know the map pretty well, obviously, vanilla map, and that was the only thing you felt like you could have done differently to save a minute or so, was that tablet cave.
Yeah, I mean, I could have. I could have opted to not explore the bottom of the grave when I was in there. But that was like my first time with keys, and I wanted to set up a gold grind, which maybe I shouldn't have set up a gold grind. I don't know, but I don't think it was a terrible decision. I knew where the shield and the armor were. The but
So,
I wanted to get all 5 chests, both in case something I needed was in the grave, because I was still looking for several things, and in case I didn't know where the gold was at Thilotilo, so I wanted a better chance of hitting the right chest when I got to, the gold grind state. But go ahead.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. If you're already in the grave and you have keys, you might as well, go down to the bottom while you're there instead of making another trip back later. Just want to ask you, what do you think about speed hacks in general? Are you a fan of that, or and what do you think are the differences kind of in gameplay?
I think that speed hacks are fine, and I'm okay with playing with them on or off. I like playing both ways. It's kind of weird that the speed hacks really speed up battles, but they don't speed up the overworld walking at all or anything like that. So, like you said, it really prioritizes. It doesn't prioritize, but it makes good overworld exploration important, for one thing. Like, if you have to backtrack to something, that hurts you a lot more with speed hacks around, because the time that you spend walking on the overworld is a much bigger portion of the time you spend playing. And the other thing that they do is they make it so that if you're close and you're not sure if you should grind for another level, just grind for another level, because it's almost always going to be faster that way. Man, the grinding outside of but going to Hawksness and grinding on X Knights was clearly the best play for the most part. It's just hard to refill your MP there, but otherwise that's the thing to do. But I wanted that last level on the way to Sherlock, and I felt like I should just move on there, and then tried to grind the last bit over by Garenham there, and by Vanilla Remaldar, and that was just terribly slow.
Yeah, Thilotilo had a similar experience actually. Went like a level early, popped into Sherlock, just saw that there were armored knights there, and just decided like he wasn't going to be able to like fight his way down or whatever with the enemy set. So, and he never got the silver shield, so he wasn't defense breaking anything. So he did a similar thing, got the last half a level over by Garenham,
he didn't gold grind then, is what I'm hearing.
I'm sorry?
He didn't gold grind then, is what I'm hearing.
Right, correct.
Yeah. I think speed hacks in general make gold grind a little bit worse of a play.
Okay, that's interesting.
I don't know that it was good for me or not, but it was awfully convenient when I did it. So I'm not sure. Maybe I should have opted out. I don't know if I saw a large shield though. I would have liked to have one of those at least. But yeah, the armored knights were actually really good to fight, because they were casting hurt like 50-75% of the time. So
Oh, that's right. Okay.
yeah, I think fighting in Sherlock was not the worst thing in the world. It's just hard to refill your MP from Sherlock or anything like that, so you have to be careful in that regard.
So, similar question. What are your thoughts, or are you a fan or not of Chaos Mode, which I believe you're going to be doing next week in this league play, right?
I don't know what the flags are, but probably. I like chaos mode. I was looking forward to having a new version so that we could play chaos on the vanilla map. Um, that didn't happen this time, but I'm looking forward to doing that, I guess, casually in the future, perhaps. So, um, but it is really swingy. All you have to do is go back and watch my race versus BT last year, where I think that he got a first kill like 40 minutes before I did. Still
Yeah,
coming back.
that's pretty crazy. It seems like it's the first kill, and it's potentially the Dragon Lord fight.
Yeah.
Our two big gotchas, and then everything in between seems okay, but it's still a challenge because you have to remember, all the different monsters that you're coming up to. It's like you're seeing them all for the first time. So,
Right. Yeah, it's definitely a different kind of animal. So, all right.
cool. Well, good game, and we'll look forward to seeing you in those Chaos Flags next week, which is week 5. Everybody in this race, I think, is still in contention for a playoff spot for week 6 and beyond. I think, you picked up 3 points with this race tonight, and so you got a pretty good shot.
Yeah, I don't know what the cutoff's going to be, but it looked like I was a little above it.
Just above the line. They're taking 16, correct? I think top 16.
I'm not keeping up on all the rules, but that sounds about right. I think that's right.
I believe it's top 16, and it looks like you'll be in a good position, barring something crazy happening next week that could entirely happen with chaos. But very good GG to you.
All right, thanks. Thanks, guys, for the restream commentary, everything, as always.
Absolutely. Thanks for a great race. I guess that's going to do it. Bobski, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's it. CD Improv is telling me that Randomania 3 has a Legend of Zelda randomizer tournament, so I think we might head over there. That's all for me. I'm Bobski. Our restream was done by CD Improv. I believe it was Smashy and... who was it?
TRNX, perhaps?
TRNX, yeah, there we go. Thank you. So that's all for me. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Go ahead and give our volunteers a follow. They do great work on this, and they play a lot of Dragon Warrior as well. So I'm sure you'll see most of our volunteers in the races the rest of the week.
Cool. All right. I think that'll do it for me as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.